Did it get better?
Yes.
When you came, you couldn't see.
Yes.
So what I need to know from you is, did it get better?
Yes. Yes.
The man, he says to Jesus, he saw people, he saw men like trees walking. And the last time I checked, a tree was a noun. Because a noun, if I remember my schooling correctly, described a person, place, or thing.
That's right. That's right.
Jesus says to the man, did it get better? And he said, God, I see men like trees. Jesus said, I need to touch you again. Because if you see people like things, then I need to touch you again. And one of the problems that we're having in church is we're not seeing people as people.
Right.
We're seeing people as things. We're seeing people as chair fillers. We see people as dollar signs. We see people as numbers. I know my brother-in-law used to go to a church where he had a membership number, where he was no longer just a name, but now he's a name and a number. So when he filled out all of his church offerings and everything like that, he had to put down his number because nobody would recognize him by his name. So he became a number.
Yes. All right. Yes.
Jesus said, if you see people like things, then I need to touch you again. Because if you see people as things, then you will treat them.
That's right. That's true. That's right.
You won't treat people the way you're supposed to because you only see people as objects.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
And when you see people as objects, then you won't think anything differently about people than you will about this chair or this podium, because it's a thing. And Jesus said, if you treat people like things, then I need to touch you again.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if I don't, then you will spend the rest of your life treating people like stuff.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus.
Not only, he said, when you treat people like stuff, you'll treat stuff like people.
That's right. Jesus. That's right.
Your car's inanimate. You'll treat your car better than you'll treat some folk.
That's right. That's right.
And some of us know folk like that.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We know folk who treat people like stuff and stuff like people. I work with people on my job who are caught up about their dog and their cat. And I don't mean nothing about, those of you who are pet owners. I realize that people get pets and they love pets. But I'm like, it's a dog.
It's a dog. That's what it is, a dog.
And I told one of the ladies on my job, when your dog dies, it is not going to heaven.
No, you're not.
That's right.
I don't think there's any dogs running around in glory. When this creature is dead, I realize you love it, and I realize that you adore it. But when this thing is dead, it's dead. What you need to be worried about is you, because when you die, you got a beginning after that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And you got people who are buying caskets for animals.
That's right. That's right.
How in the world do you treat your car better than you treat your spouse? How in the world do you treat your house better than you treat your family? How in the world do you treat your job better than you do the saints in church? How do you do it? Jesus said, I need to touch you again.
Yes, Lord.
Because you ain't seeing correctly.
That's right. That's right.
I understand it's going to take a little time for your eyes to focus, but just to make sure, let me lay hands on you again.
Yes. Right. Thank you, Lord.
Because if I don't, you'll walk through life with a distorted reality.
Right. Jesus.
You'll treat people like they are stuff. And when you treat people like they're stuff, then you treat folk like they're beneath you.
That's right.
You'll treat folk like you're better than them.
That's right.
You'll treat folk, you'll look down your nose at them because you think they're beneath you.
Yes. Right. Thank you, Jesus.
A couple of years ago, me and Pastor and our family and Lady Burwell was in Hometown Buffet. And we look up, and here come one of the princes of the church. Pastor grew up with him. They've known each other for years. Pastor threw his hand up. Hey, Bishop! Threw threw his hand up like that and kept right on walking. And I said to Pastor, I said, Pastor, if there was another purple shirt at this table, he'd have stopped. If there was another chain at this table, he would have stopped. If there was another person on his level, as far as episcopacy is concerned, he would have stopped. But because you don't mean nothing to him, he half says hi and keep right on walking. That man sees people like objects.
That's right.
And that's not how God wants you to see folk.
That's right. That's right. Amen.
That's not how God wants you to treat folk. That's not how God intends for you to build relationship. If you want friends, you got to be friendly. But how do you make friends when you treat